Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
everyone.
Yes,
Well,
yes, Mataji.
Some
You are
have
not audible
retested
clearly,
it.
Mataji. Hare Krishna, I'm audible.
Hare Krishna,
yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Yes, yes, voice. Okay, now fine, Mataji. Please continue. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Hare Krishna, everyone. Happy Krishna conscious morning. So, we will start today's book reading session. Let's start our session with a Mangalacharan, offering prayers to our senior acharyas. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kada Mayam Dadatim Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Sajeevam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saita Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate गोपेश गोपीकांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात देशतारिणे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्रीला प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
So we are reading the book Lord Chaitanya, his life and teachings. So we seen his birth, how he advent,
His
then
life and his achievements.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please take care of your mic, okay? So we also seen his student life, how he started the Chatur party, then we learn how he fight with the Keshav Pandit and other pastimes, and then how he started the congregation movement, Sankirtana movement. Then he was chanting Radha and naming of the gopis. Then his fellow students start thinking he's the ordinary boy like us. But then Lord Chaitanya said, if they are not going to pay obeisances to me, they are not going to respect me, then it is very difficult for them to get liberated from the cycle of a birth and death. So he accepted the sannyasa because at that time the peoples are not so degraded, na? Around the 5,000 years ago, people are not so degraded. So they used to pay respect to the sannyasis. They used to pay obeisances. So he accept the sannyasa. And his mother said, okay, you are accepting the sannyasa, please make your headquarters at Jagannath Puri. Why Jagannath Puri? Because it is little closer to Mayapur, huh? So she can get the updates of a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu go because Nityananda Prabhu broke his danda. So he in angry mood he alone come to Jagannath Puri. When he take the darshan of Jagannatha, he started having the ecstatic fits, and general people don't appreciate and they don't realize the what are the spiritual and what are the material. So they think, oh, he is doing the drama. Let him put outside the temple. But there is a head pujari known as a Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. So he know, oh, these are the aesthetic fits so he told everyone he shook away everyone you don't have to touch him. So he want to study this aesthetic fits, because these are very rare, only pure devotees can exhibit this. So he took the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his house and he studied all the aesthetic fits the standing of hairs, how the tears coming from eyes, and breathing red, all these things he studied. And when he then when his associates also come na, then they come to know Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his home. So they start chanting the holy name, then Lord Chaitanya come to uh, come out of this ecstatic fits. So then then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya start speaking about the Vedantas, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected all of his explanation. Why? Because he said that Vedanta sutras are like a dazzling sun, and like your explanations simply simply look acting like a clouds, and they are covering the lights of a sun. So you shouldn't give Vedanta sutras are directly coming from a supreme personality itself, because Vyasadeva is also the incarnation of a Krishna. So you don't have to give your own speculations and your own explanation. They are complete within themselves. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, there is one very pure devotee known as a Ramananda Rai. So yes, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he start traveling to the south. He go to the Narasimha temple, and after that he go to the Godavari, and he was the ecstatic. And this is the a nature of a pure devotee. Whatever things he see na, he tried to see is the Krishna and his devotees, and he tried to relate these things to the Krishna. So we can also see this in the Bhagavad Gita na, yes, Krishna says I am the sun, I am the moon. So when we are walking, we can see, oh sun, Krishna says he is the sun, so this is no, this is none other than my Krishna. And we can see the animals, insect, oh, Krishna is also present in their heart in a form of Paramatma. Even drinking water, we can think, oh, Krishna said, he is the taste of water. So these are the ways we have to remember Krishna. So there is no question how we are going to remember Krishna, because in Bhagavad Gita everything is given. But what is problem? We are not reading. So yes, so he was seeing the Godavari, and he start thinking, oh, Godavari, he start thinking, oh, this is the Yamuna Maya, and the forest he is seeing, he start seeing that, oh, these are not ordinary forest, these are the forest of Vrindavana. By simply by thinking this, he was in an ecstatic mood. So he take the bath, and he saw the one man, aristocratic man coming with all the musical bands and with a lot of brahmanas. Then generally we see the sannyasis don't meet the political leader or aristocratic people, and even the very fallen shudras. Why? Because they don't have the tendency to accept the spiritual knowledge. Then why we have to waste our time on them? And even it is very hard to approach this aristocratic or rich people. And when it comes to shudras, they don't have that much intelligence to accept the spiritual knowledge. But even like we see that they are the eternal associate. Lord Chaitanya is a Krishna himself, and Ramananda Rai is the Arjuna. Or who is the Arjuna? He is the Lalita Sakhi. So they are the eternal associates, and when they come face to face, they embrace each other, and Krishna is a present in everyone's heart in a form of Paramatma. So uh, he can read everyone's mind. He observe our thoughts coming in our mind. So he observed that in Brahmanas their thoughts are coming, oh, he's a Shudra, and why sannyasi is why sannyasi is embracing one Shudra or one political person. And even they said, oh, even he's a great political person, he holds a very good position in a government. Then after simply by embracing this sannyasi, why he start crying? So Lord Chaitanya sees that, oh, these conditions are not favorable to embrace him. So they stop their aesthetic things. So yes, when conditions are unfavorable and we are not that much pure, and we are not that much dedicated in our spiritual activities, then we don't have to show our spiritual things. You can apply the water tilaka, you can wear a small kanthi bits, and you can cover with your shirts like this, no? Or you can place the scarf. Also, because we have to protect, because they are going to say something, and there are chances that we will get influenced by them. So in starting we have to protect. And but when you are fully dedicated, when you start getting that nectar, then you are not going to listen to anyone, because you come to know na, this is the thing that I am looking for in entire world, and this is the thing which is going to free me from all these miseries, and give me the eternal happiness. So yes, so then they start talking, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, please give me some examples from the Shastras where it where the which emphasize on the goal of human life. So what is the goal of human life? Not to get the many comforts or get very rich, but the goal of human life is to develop love for Krishna and get out of this cycle of birth and death, which in which we only tend to get sufferings. So in starting, he told that simply by following prescribed duties, we can develop love for Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya rejected because it is external. Then he said, then we have to do the karma mishrit bhakti. What is the karma mishrit bhakti? Okay, I will do what I want, but some results I will give to you. But Krishna's Lord Chaitanya said, this is also external, na? Because inside, simply buying some, doing some ritualistic activities, I'm not going to please. So he want love, not these things. Then okay, then he said karma mishrit bhakti. Then karma mishrit bhakti, jnana mishrit bhakti. What is a jnana mishrit bhakti? Okay, we will we will get some knowledge and we will develop the detachment. But Lord Chaitanya said renunciation, what you are renouncing, whatever assets you are having, I'm giving assets to you. And you are said that these are not my assets. Okay, this book don't belong to me, and this book is given by you. And I simply said I don't want book. I don't want this is my book, and I don't want book. But this is not your book. So everything belongs to Krishna. Everything is owned by Krishna. So nothing belongs to you, na? Everything belongs to Krishna. So it's our duty to engage everything in Krishna's service, not in our sense gratification. It will be cause of our degradation, and we will again fall in a cycle of a birth and death. So yes, so he said, okay, renunciation, he do not say, because renunciation means two things, na? First is a detachment. You should develop the detachment. Okay, I'm staying in this world, this is the place of suffering, I won't be happy and I have to get out of this suffering. You should be fully detached. And at the same time, what is the most important is which is a very very important, than detachment, is the attachment to the Krishna. When there is attachment to the Krishna, detachment will automatically come. So we should be attached to the service of Krishna, and then only we can take the renunciation. Otherwise, when we take the premature renunciation, we will start thinking, oh, why should I take renunciation? I could have a beautiful wife, or I can have a beautiful family. Why I have taken this, now I'm suffering? So yes, this premature renunciation is not appreciated. And when it comes to detachment, nothing belongs to you, and nothing belongs to you. What you are renouncing. So yes, so Lord Chaitanya said this is not. Then they move to the Jnana Yoga. What is the problem with the Jnana Yoga? It is generally they emphasize the impersonal Brahman feature of a Supreme Lord. So they want to merge with the Brahman. Okay, they get the knowledge. Okay, this is the place of suffering, and so everything is a Maya. So I have to get out of this Maya, and then what? I have to merge with the Brahmins. No, you are not going to merge with the Brahman. You will be stay there as a spiritual spark, and out of Buddhism at a single room, without any engagement, I cannot simply sit. I cannot simply sit in the room. So they cannot simply sit. They will pass some time and they will start feeling bored. Okay, and because there is no rasas to exchange, no sakkharas, no vatsalaras. So they will fall again. They will again fall down to the material world. Or so and even Lord Chaitanya said, it is not a complete knowledge, huh? There in a realization, there are three things. First is the Brahman realization. Okay, it does a Brahman, impersonal Brahman, which is the effulgence of a Krishna's body. Then second is a Paramatma, Krishna sitting in everyone's heart. And third, what is the third? That is a Bhagwan feature, and this is the supreme. So in an impersonal Brahman, they don't have idea about this this personal feature, the Krishna. You are simply sitting in a Brahman, there, but you don't know there are the spiritual planets, and you can go in the spiritual planets. You can relish the rasas with a Krishna. And you can also be in a Sakya rasa, you can also be in a Madhurya rasa, and you can be also there in a a Vatsalya rasa. So you can enjoy, you can simply eat with the Krishna, you can simply play with the Krishna, and you do all of a beautiful you can engage in all of the beautiful pastimes of the Krishna, but they don't have the idea. So Lord Chaitanya also rejects this. Then when he comes to the thing that we have to associate with the associate with the pure devotees and take the knowledge through them, and like we should develop the loving relationship with the Krishna. So like Lord Chaitanya first time agree. Then like he asked him to go further and further, na? So like in a chapter 29, yes, he said like then like what is the highest is there, that is the in Bhagavatam. Yes, like devotees, like first is the Shantarasa. Shantarasa means like you are simply becoming a tree, or like you are becoming like a milk from a Damodar Lila, or like you can become that mortar and pestle, and like you can like in that way you can serve Krishna. Then like a servant, you are becoming the maid servants of a Krishna, like then you will serve Krishna. Then like what is the greater than this, that is a Sakya Rasa. When our faith increases, so we become like a Sakya Rasa, like we can become a friends with the Krishna. So like uh, like we can play with the Krishna, and like this more than this Sakya Rasa, there is another rasa known as the Vatsalya Rasa, like Yashoda Maya and Nanda Maharaj and like other gopis, like elder gopis, like they have the Vatsalya Rasa. And one of the greatest rasa is the Madhurya Rasa, like the gopis, and even in a gopis, like who is the most favorite, like uh, like Radha Rani is the most favorite of a Krishna. So this is this is the process now. Like this is the what we say hierarchy. So, and like in a chapter, I think in a chapter 29, it is written now, one who does not follow the principles of a Pancharatra, or one who is impersonalist or addicted to sex life cannot compare with those who are dedicated their lives to the Krishna. A pure devotee who is always engaged in a Krishna consciousness can sacrifice everything for the service of a Lord. And one who has dedicated his life in a service to Lord Chaitanya, Krishna, the spiritual master, or a person who is following the principles in householder life, as well as following the principles of a renounced life order of a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the devotee cannot be compared to the professional man. And like when one is freed from all the material contamination, anyone of a relationship with ships of a Krishna transcendentally relishable. So we cannot relish this transcendental pastimes, because like we will be material, there will be this will be materially contaminated, and like we are like, and most important is like we are not following the principles of Pancharatra, and like so like they simply act na. There are two vidhis. First is the Bhagavad Vidhi, and second is the Pancharatra Vidhi. So we follow the both, because like our six Goswamis has given both, because we simply na, like we simply try to follow the Bhagavad Vidhi. We are not that much purified to follow the Bhagavad Vidhi. So firstly we have to purify ourselves to the Pancharatra Vidhi, and like this Pancharatra Vidhi means like you have to take a bath and then you have to chant. And in Bhagavad Vidhi you can chant at any time, like you don't have to care about the physical cleaning. But like we are not that we are not on that transcendental platform na. So we have to clean ourselves, and we have to follow the rules and regulation. This is the most important, because like if we simply try to follow the Bhagavad Gita, like we will become lethargic, and like we will take the process more and more casual, and we won't follow it, and like our growth will be very slow. It will be not accelerated. But when we follow the rules and regulation, like we can progress very fast. So it is important to follow the rules and regulation. And yes, then like yesterday we see the transcendental pastimes of Radha and Krishna. So like here we see now, like yes, there is a Yoga Maya and there is a Mahamaya. So the Yoga Maya is a eternal, is eternal potency of a Krishna. Like because of her, all the pastimes in the spiritual world take place, because like Yoga Maya, let forget everyone, even the Krishna, that he is the supreme personality of a Godhead. And like that's why now, like when you know the like he's a supreme personality of a Godhead, then like how can you hold the sticks and run behind the Krishna? So yes, everyone forgot that he's the supreme personality of a Godhead, and there is a pure love. Okay, and that also transcendental love. And then when it comes to Mahamaya, it's the external potency of Krishna, and he take care of these material things. So there is difference between the Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. So we have to remember this. And so Radha Krishna are different. Rukmini Ramana are different because rasas are different. Rukmini Narayana, Rukmini Ramana, we cannot compare them with the Radha Krishna, because Radha Krishna they are in a pure Madhurya rasa, and the Rukmini Ramana uh, like they are in a Aishwarya rasa and a Madhurya rasa. So every name there is a difference. So yes, and when we overlap these things, then it is no they are technically they are wrong. So it is known as the rasa bhasa. Okay, so we cannot compare the Rukmini Ramana with the Radha Ramana, or we cannot say Radha Narayana, because it won't be matched, no? Because we cannot say the Narayana is playing with the Narayana cannot play in the forest of Vrindavan, and cannot take the prasadam with the prasadam with his friends, and he cannot just snatch food from his friend's mouth and eat. So yes, so we don't have to mix these names. Lakshmi Narayana and Radha Krishna both are the different, because they are in a different rasas. So but when we merge them, this is a technically fault which is known as a rasa bhasa. So yes, Krishna is known as a Gopijan Vallabha. Why he is known as a Gopijan Vallabha? Because he takes care of a gopis, and he is the master of a gopis. And Krishna is Krishna loves when we call him like a Devaki Nandana or a Radha Ramana, because even the Vasudeva, because when he take the names of Krishna with his pure devotees, they are more relishable. It's when someone call out take your name with your lover's name, you will be more happy. So similarly, Krishna, when we take the name with his eternal associates, he become more happy. And yes, he is the super excellence and the beauty, and he is the sublime jewel. Okay, we have the diamond ring. Okay, so it is made up of gold, but then also why we call it diamond? Because the diamond, this is the jewel, na? So similarly, all the pure devotees are gold, and gold's value increases, and who is the most important? Who is the jewel? That is a Krishna. So Krishna is like a jewel. And we're not that much qualified to enter enter to this much depth. We firstly need to complete all the 9 cantos of a Bhagavatam, then we can move to the 10th canto. Okay, because we will misunderstand, no? Here it is given Radharani is not no one is Krishna is not making feel Radharani very special, so she get angry and she move out of the rasa dance. Krishna, okay, there are millions of gopis, but then also Krishna miss her and leave all the gopis and go out and then try to find her and leave all the gopis. So on a mental platform, we may compare this to the ordinary these girlfriends and boyfriends, and this is problems. That's why we avoid to discuss this. For that we have to develop the maturity. We have to develop the spiritual maturity. Then only we can go to these things. Okay. And even it is written in a Padma Puran, the Radharani is a dearer to Krishna. So the her Kunda, Radha Kunda is also dearer to Krishna. And that's why, Prabhupada, we can see other sampradayas, they go in a Radha Kunda, take the bath in a Radha Kunda. But Prabhupada don't allow us. Why he don't allow us? Because here it is saying, uh, like uh, it is very dear to Krishna, it is very dear to Radharani. So it is not different from Radharani. And how can we go in a Radharani and take the bath? So we simply take some water and throw it on our body. So we don't take a bath in a Radha Kunda. So if anyone is going alone to the Vrindavan and Radha Kunda, in our sampradaya we don't take a bath in a Radha Kunda. We have to take care of this. And that's why it is said, na, you have to always go in a dham yatras with the devotees, because with the devotees will be protect you from the dham apradas, because in a dhama everything multiplies by 1000 times. So if you do one aparadha, it will be multiple times of 1,000. Or if you do one spiritual activity, it will be multiplied to the 1,000 times. So we have to take care. And even like unless we are mature, like we should avoid to go in a dharma. Okay. So yes, like when Ramananda Rai was explaining the beautiful pastimes, intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna, like Chaitanya Prabhu was relishing them, and like like uh, he said that if you have to, you must go on. Like I'm relishing every pastimes. Please go on. And yes, then they discuss like how Krishna stole the Radha Rani from all the gopis and relished the pastimes with her alone. So. And the acharyas also say, na, like when they are doing the rasa dance, they start thinking, oh, how fortunate we are. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is dancing with us, like, and then they start getting pride. So like Krishna don't like pride, so Krishna leave them because Krishna don't like the pride. This is the one of thing, but another thing is that when Krishna leave the gopis, like their separation, they want to increase this separation, like vipralamba bhava, like our sampradaya this is very important. Vipralamba bhava, we have to feel the separation from the Krishna, and this is very static. But we will say, "Oh, what is static in this vipralamba bhava and in this separation?" For that, we have to advance in the spirituality. Okay, then we will understand this. Because we also see now when Krishna left them, like how gopis, like they used to recall the past times, how he killed the Vrittasura, and how Yashoda Maya bind him with a rope. They used to recall, and when we are recalling, Krishna is the absolute. There is no difference between his pastimes, leelas, and gunas, and his forms, even the names. So like when they are recalling all the pastimes, when they are hearing the names of Krishna, when they are singing the glories of Krishna, then there is no separation. They are always with the Krishna. So we can also be always with the Krishna simply by repeating his pastimes, even in a mind. We can chant the holy names, we can read the books, so we can continuously associate with the Krishna. Okay. Even when we are taking bath, when we are cooking, we have to inside our mind, or it is comfortable, then outside, we can speak also, or we can while cooking bhoga, like Mataji said, like we shouldn't speak because like our saliva can go in the a bhoga. So like we can put some kirtan box, and we can hearing the kirtan, and inside our mind we can repeat it. Okay. And this is the highest, even in a gopis, Radharani is the highest. And Krishna, then they are relishing the transcendental feature because he's the supreme personality of Godhead, and he's the absolute, and he's all beautiful, and they are relishing all the beauty of Krishna. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Prabhu said, oh, please go on, like I relishing them. Then what Arjuna said, or what Ramananda Rai said, I am a Mayavati sannyasi. I don't know about this too much about this rasa dance and everything. So when we want to learn about all of these things, so we have to go towards someone who is from that sampradaya, and then who can give us knowledge. So he's the saying that he don't want to boast himself, he's a Lalita Sakhi himself now. He have all the ideas because he is the one who is he is the one who one of the teammate, who was arranging all the paraphernalia for the Radha and Krishna's beautiful pastimes. So a challenge, how we have to inquire and how we have to take the knowledge from the spiritual master. Firstly, we have to serve the spiritual master, and then okay, we have to ask questions, but how we have to ask in a submissive manner. We have to respect the speaker, and we don't have to ask the questions in a challenging spirit. And then but when someone asks in a challenging manner, question asked when someone asks the questions in a challenging manner, and when he's a pop of, okay, I am the intelligent, what you are going to tell me, I know everything. But when someone asks in the spirit, then he will simply remain in the material contamination. He is not there is no scope of getting knowledge. And so we will read the last paragraph, and we will end here. Okay. From tomorrow we will start the 31, because yes, we have to complete the chapters also, but like it's not should be in a running, like we are only running, we are completing chapters, but we are not refreshing our previous knowledge also. So we have to remember also things, and we are like we should relish the things now. Like we are not in a like material study, we simply have to complete the syllabus, and like we have to give the exams and we are run away, and like next day we are forgetting everything. No, we have to remember this till like till our last breath. Like, and this is the spiritual things now, this will continue to you even in a spiritual form. So Lord Chaitanya clearly showed that a sincere student never cared whether his spiritual master is born in a high Brahmana family or Kshatriya family, whether he is a sannyasi, brahmachari, whether whoever can teach one the science of a Krishna is the accepted as Guru. So, like, yes, in a Chaitanya Charitamrita, what Krishna, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, like, who knows the science of Krishna, like, he can become a Guru. So, like, even you are a brahmachari, sannyasi, or even a householder, and like even like you are a brahmana, kshatriya, like vaishya or a shudra, like anyone can become a guru unless and until he have grasps all the knowledge about the science of Krishna, so he can become a guru. So Hare Krishna, we can move to the Mukundmala Stotra. So today, like the last 6 verses are remaining. Okay, so we will try to cover them. Please raise your hands, and like I want someone who can read little faster, because we have to complete the 6 verses now. Because today, like Kartik month is ending, and as we have taken vow, we should finish on time. Okay,
Yes, Mataji, we can increase the speed. Don't worry.
very well. Yes, Vinod Prabhu can start. Srila
Okay,
Prabhupada ki
Mataji.
jai.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Your wife is the beautiful daughter of the ocean, and your son is Lord Brahma. The Vedas are your panigrist. The demigods comprise your company of servants, and liberation is your benediction. While this entire universe is a display of your magic power, Srimati Devaki is your mother, and Arjuna the son, Indra is your friend. For these reasons, I have no interest in anyone but you. Purport. Even an ordinary man may have daughter and a son. A famous man will have so many people praising him, or Mataji screen gaya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhuji. My internet just gets lost. Now visible, Prabhu?
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Purport. Even an ordinary man may have a daughter and a son. A famous man will have so many people praising him for, or he may hire press agents to do so. And a powerful political leader will have less powerful political figures and his official servants. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is also a person, and therefore he also has family members as well as servants, friends, and praisers. Since the absolute truth is the source of everything, we should not think he lacks anything we see in the material world. But when the Supreme Lord Krishna manifests personal relationships, they are not ordinary. His wife, friends, servants, and praises are all liberated souls. His personal energies are expansions of himself. People doubt that God can have a father, mother, wife, or special friend. Some say that these relationships comprise the impartiality and changeability of the Supreme. But the Lord's transcendental relationships with his eternal associates do not compromise him in any way. Rather, they add to his ever increasing glory. Lord Krishna does not actually need any of his friends, wives, and so on, but he allows them to associate with him intimately because he is always pleased to reciprocate with loving devotees. That the Lord's associates are not ordinary is proved by the fact that they often undergo extreme austerities or great sacrifices to become his friends or parents. For example, Vasudeva and Devaki, who took the role of Krishna's father and mother, executed many lifetimes of austerity in preparation. Soon after his birth, Krishna described to them what they had undergone in a previous life to receive the benediction of him having as their son. Both of you practiced severe austerities for 12,000 years by this calculation of the demigods. During that time, your mind was always absorbed in me. When you were executing devotional service and always thinking of me within your heart, I was very much pleased with you. O sinless mother, your heart is therefore always pure. At that time, I also appeared before you in this form just to fulfill your desire. And I ask you to ask whatever you desired. At that time, you wished to have me born as your son. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, pp. 44-45. In his spiritual kingdom, the Supreme Lord eternally enjoyed loving relationships with his personal associates, but he is also present in all nooks and corners of the material universes and in everyone's heart. In this way, his influence is spread throughout all existence, both spiritual and material. Thus, King Kulsheshwara says, the entire universe is a display of your magic power. Lord Krishna is not a minor magician. He is a Yogeshwara, the controller of all mystic potencies. In the Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Lord Krishna declares, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram, I am the supreme controller of all universes. Moreover, Krishna controls all the universes effortlessly. As Srila Prabhupada says, we should not think he is like Atlas, whom we see struggling to hold up the earth on his arms. Krishna always has free time to enjoy with his loving associates. For all these reasons, declares King Kurusheshwara, I have no interest in anyone but you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So here we can see now, like you are. We will go through the translation once again, because like here the his pure devotees names has coming, and like Krishna will come in our class to hear like about him. No? Like in the Bhagavatam, there is one shloka, na, like Krishna says, "I'm not. I don't stay in the like hearts of the yogis. Like I don't stay anywhere, but I stay in like I stay in that place where the devotees glorify about my devotees and about me. I will stay there. So when we glorify about the Krishna even comes in our class. Okay, so like we don't have to sleep, because Krishna is coming and we are sleeping, so it's not good. No? So yes, your wife is a beautiful daughter of ocean. Why it is like who is the beautiful daughter of ocean? The Lakshmi Devi. When the Samudra Manthan has taken place, na, take one of the jewel is the Lakshmi Devi. So that's why she is called as a daughter of ocean. And yours, like your son is a Lord Brahma. So yes, he's the first son of Krishna, and he's the secondary creator, and Krishna is the primary creator. And the Vedas are your just and the demigods comprise of your all company of servants. So demigods are the servants of a Krishna. Like Krishna has given them like one department to take care of that department. And like liberation is your benediction. Only Krishna can give us liberation. No one can give the liberation, because like everything is under control of Krishna. Even the demigods cannot give you liberation, because it is not in their hand. Even they are in stuck in the cycle of birth and death. So like entire universe is a display of your magic power. So like we can see like how beautifully Krishna has designed the universe, like how things automatically take place, like even we give the birth to the baby, like he's independent of us, like so we can see like Krishna has arranged everything like so beautifully. And like this is the magical power of Krishna, and this is not compared to the ordinary magic, okay, or this is not any trick. So, like Devki is your mother, and Arjuna his friend, and and the son Indra is your friend. Uh, Arjuna, the son of Indra, is your friend. And for those, I have no interest in anyone but you. So, like, okay, like we know Krishna is the supreme, then, but then also we are having interest in many things, like material comforts, like material wealth, like our like a temporary family members, like all of these material things, like we are having the interest, but we are not having interest in Krishna. So, like we should also pray like. King Kulashekara, to know, like simply by getting knowledge, we are not applying now. So now this is the time we have to get the knowledge and we have to apply. Only Krishna will be my friend, and he is the eternal, and in whatever birth I take, or like even I go in a spiritual world, Krishna is my eternal associate. So like I should invest in Krishna. Like I should give some time to Krishna, and like I should have only interest in Krishna, not anyone else. Okay, but we have to apply these things also. And like here we can take out the point now, to simply to take a Krishna, become Krishna as his son Devki and Vasudeva. like uh, they undergo extreme austerities. Here it is given 12,000 years, and these are not the earthly years, these are the demigod years. And like we can calculate now, one demigod year is like our 1 year is compared to their 1 day. So we can calculate accordingly. So, and at that time your mind is always absorbed in me. So so whatever like activities we are doing, like in our mind should be always absorbed in Krishna. Okay, whatever office work you are doing, whatever studies you are doing, or whatever household stuff you are doing, like inside mind there should be always one thought. Okay, whatever I'm doing for Krishna's pleasure. Samsiddhim hari toshanam. And like yes, we have to undergo extreme austerities, we have to undergo the austerities. And they do the austerities for the long time, not for the 1 day or 2 days. Huh? As we do, so what austerities we have to do? Follow the four regulative principles very strictly, chanting 16 rounds, getting like a first important thing, sleeping early, then getting up early at a Brahma Murta, attending Mangalarti, reading Srila Prabhupada books at least for the half hour or 1 hour, uh, and then hearing the Harikatha. These are the most important things, and we have to sacrifice. And these are like austerity. Okay, I don't have time, so I am getting the lunch break. I have 30 minutes, so 15 minutes I will finish the lunch, and that too, like by hearing the Harikatha in my, I can plug the earphones and like I can hear the Harikatha while eating the prasadam, and like in rest 15 minutes I can read the Prabhupada's book, or I can chant one extra round. So like this is the austerity. Like we have austerity is now we are so unfortunate in a Kali Yuga that we don't have the time for the spirituality. We don't have time for Krishna, but we have to take the austerity to take out the time for Krishna. Okay. So yes, he is an the entire universe is a display of a majestic power of Krishna. So he is known as a Yogeshwara, the controller of all majestic potencies. And in Bhagavad Gita, he declared himself as a Sarva Loka Maheshwaram. So uh, he is the supreme controller of all the universe, and he don't take any stress as we take the stress while doing the activities. He do effortlessly, and like he always have time, free time to enjoy with his loving associates. He's not like us, like because he is the Lord. Simply by glancing he can impregnate the material world. Then like he don't have to work as we are doing, just to maintain ourselves. Okay, because he is the supreme. Hare Krishna, who wants to read? Sarita Mataji, Sadhna Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. To the wise inhabitants of the heavenly regions know that the perfection of the head. 1 second, Mataji. I have to change the screen. Yeah. The wise inhabitants of the heavenly regions know that the perfection of the head is to offer prostrate obeisances to the Supreme Lord. The perfection of the life breath is to worship the Lord. The perfection of mind is to ponder the details of his transcendental qualities. And the perfection of speech is to chant the glories of his qualities. Purport. The word Divokashaha refers to the Devas or demigods. These are devotees of the Supreme Lord who inhabited the heavenly planets and enjoy a rare standard of sense gratification, which places them squarely within the material world as conditioned souls. But because they are staunch followers of Lord Vishnu, he always protects them. Being Vishnu's followers, they are usually victorious in their battles with the demons who frequently threaten to possess the heavenly kingdom. King Kulashekara mentions the Devas not because of their material opulence, but because of their good quality of rendering devotional service to Lord Hari. The residents of heavenly planets are not like the people of earth, where in Kali Yuga the philosophy of God is dead predominates, and the ideas of atheists like Darwin, um, Ma- Marx, and Freud are hugely influential in all affairs. Although the Devas have access to very advanced form of technology and possess mystic powers, their faith in Lord Vishnu remains pure. By the grace of Lord Chaitanya, even the people of earth, although unqualified in many ways, can also approach Lord Krishna in devotional service. Indeed, Lord Chaitanya is so magnanimous that he has given the residents of earth a great advantage over the demigods. That advantage is Sankirtana, the congregational chanting of the holy names of God. Because of this great advantage, the earth is the best place to achieve the ultimate goal of life, going back to the eternal spiritual world. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.19.21, since the human form of life is the sublime position for spiritual realization, all the demigods in heavenly heaven speak in this way. How wonderful it is for these human beings to have been born in the land of Bharatavarsha, the earth. They must have executed pious acts of austerity in the past, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself must have been pleased with them. Otherwise, how could they engage in devotional service in so many ways? We demigods can only aspire to achieve human births in Bharatavarsha to execute devotional service. But these human beings are already engaged there. At one time, the whole world was known as Bharatavarsha, but now only India is known by that name. India is cited as the best place to achieve self realization because it was in India that many acharyas and incarnations of Krishna appeared, and it is in India that the tradition of devotional service to the Lord remains strong. Srila Prabhupada writes, from all points of view, Bharatavarsha is the special land where one can very easily understand the process of devotional service and adopt it to the make his life successful. Lord Chaitanya has further encouraged the residents of Bharatvarsha to make themselves successful in devotional service and then preach throughout the world. This is the work of Consciousness movement, a mission that was developed so thoroughly and successfully by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. King Kulashekara reminds us of the proper functions of the various parts of the body. The head, for instance, is the center of all senses. So we try to give it pleasure in many ways, but usually not by the humble act recommended here, bowing down before the Supreme Lord. Of course, bowing is not merely a mechanical act. The head should bow down, accompanied by sincere feelings of devotion in the heart. Prostrating the body was an important part of the daily sadhana discipline of liberated souls like the six Goswamis of Vrindavana. In his prayers to the six Goswamis, Srinivasa Acharya states that they were engaged in chanting the holy name of the Lord and bowing down in scheduled measurement. Raghunath Dasa Goswami, one of the six Goswamis, offered 1,000 obeisances to the Lord devotees daily. The word prana used in this verse of Mukundamala Stotra refers to the life breath, which we should should used in worshipping the Lord. Yogis practice pranayama, regulation of breath, to gain control of the mind and senses, and it is often recommended as a method of rejuvenation. Although one may certainly gain such benefits by controlling the breath, the path of bhakti calls on the devotee simply to use his life breath in loving service to the Lord. Similarly, we should use the mind, speech, and other God given faculties in the Lord's loving service. This perfection is available to all, whether demigods or human beings. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Mata.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So yes, we can see here how beautiful it is given as usual. Like why Vishnu, like even the Hiranyakashipu said na, like this devatas feed the Vishnu with the laddus and all the like all very sweet fruits. That's why he's impartial, and he's like Hiranyakashipu think that like Lord Vishnu is a small child, and like devatas simply by giving some fruits and sweets, they are manipulating Lord Vishnu. So he in the seventh canto he speak in this way. So Hiranyakashipu said that he's impartial, he only take the side of demigods, and because of him only demigods win, otherwise don't have any capability. So but why Lord Vishnu protects them? Because like they being the Vishnu followers, they follow the Vishnu, they follow the rules and regulation, like whatever Vishnu has told them, they follow the instruction. So like so the Vishnu protect them. So similarly, na, like when we follow the instruction, whatever Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master has given them, then they will protect. But like it's their duty to protect us, and it's our duty to follow the instructions. So like we have to focus on our duties, na? Like following for regulative principles, chanting 16 round, increase hearing, chanting, and reading. Okay, so then they will protect us. So we can take out from this, and because of their good quality of rendering devotional service to the Hari. Okay, why yeah, demigods are protected by Vishnu? Because they have good quality to render service to the Lord Hari. So we should also develop this good quality, always rendering devotional service to Lord Hari. When you see the fruit or a flower in your mind, like you mentally offer that fruit and flower to Lord Krishna. And like whatever assets you are seeing, like you have to engage them in Krishna's service. And yes, they have very advanced technologies, they can make a rainfall. They are controlling entire universes. They are like the sense gratification multiplies by thousands when you go in the higher and heavenly planets. They have very advanced technologies, their aeroplanes, they can take any form, and without by train or aeroplane they can travel anywhere. And their aeroplanes, it don't require the fuel. Or we haven't hear in somewhere in the shastras that Indra was traveling through his aeroplane and a fuel finished and he fall down from the sky. No, we haven't seen. So they have very advanced technologies. Then also they have their faith has remained in the Vishnu. But now in Kali Yuga we can see, as technology advancing, we are becoming more and more atheistic. Oh, and we are rejecting the authority. We are rejecting the creator of the universe, Vishnu. So yes, whatever opulence we have, whatever advancement we have, but our faith in Vishnu should be always remain pure. Okay, it should be unflinching faith. So yes, even the demigods, demigods are praying they want to born in a Bharat Varsha, or in the earthly planets. Why? Yes, earthly planets, sense gratification, you will always suffer. This name is a name of this place is a Dukhalayam or Shashwatam, and this is the Mrityu Lok. Their death is the certain. Then also why they want to come? Because of it has a one good quality, that is simply by doing the Sankirtana, we can go back to the Godhead, and in the spiritual world. So they are praying to take a birth, but we are fortunate, we have take birth on this earthly planet, and that too in a Bharata or in India, and that too we get the association of the devotees. We get to know by doing what activities we can go back to the Godhead. We get the knowledge by doing what activity will be entangled in this world and rot in this world. Then but our misfortune is that we are not having the taste for the holy name, as it is written in a Shishtastakam. So yes, now we have to get up from the sleep of this ignorance, and we have to prioritize our Krishna consciousness. We have to take out our time for Krishna, and we have to execute our knowledge in our daily life. Okay, so one can easily understand the process of devotional service and adopt it. Yes, we have to understand, we have to take the knowledge, but we have to adopt our life according to it. Then our life will be successful. Simply by getting knowledge, we are not going to be a successful, but we also have to adopt the knowledge in our life. So yes, it is said that a head is a master of all the senses, because we said that mind and intelligence, senses, then mind, then above mind there is the intelligence. So generally it is said na, it is all are subtle, but intelligence we point out to the head. So yes, all the intelligence, all the mind, all the senses, we have to engage in a Krishna's service. But we are not engaging in a, we are not bowing down, and we also bowing down, but not with the internal feeling, or only in a mechanical way. So when we are bowing our head down, so it should be accomplished by the sincere feeling of a devotion in heart, inside your heart, you should be surrendered to Lord Krishna. And surrender to Lord Krishna means following rules and regulation. And following rules and regulations of Vishnu means we have to follow the rules and regulation of a guru. And like you can like you are saying, okay, you Mataji, you are saying like you are saying whatever comes in your mind. Like you can message me. I will send you the screenshot, or I will tell you the page number of a Srimad Bhagavatam. In a Parapat, Srila Prabhupada himself said that like taking the dust of the lotus feet of Vishnu means we have to take the dust of lotus feet of his pure devotees, and like taking dust means follow his instructions. Okay, so like yes, and like why like there is question now why we have to do the 16 rounds in mind. We can chant whatever rounds, and like uh, like why we have to calculate, because our senior devotees has done that, and like we have to follow the footsteps in order to advance in the spirituality. So like so in a sadhana, it should be calculative. Okay, half hour I have to read means I have to sit down for half hour and I have to read without distraction, keeping phones away, and by locking room and tell everyone, okay, this is half hour. I have to read books. No one going to disturb me. So these are the things like we need to be discipline ourselves. We need to discipline our lives. Even like here it is example is given na like Raghunath Dasa Goswami, like one of the six Goswamis, he used to offer 1,000 obeisances, like that Danvat pranamas to the Lord's devotee daily. So like they have calculated everything. Like even in a Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he used to say you have to chant at least 64 rounds. Like we can compare like 2 to 4, like 8 hours. They simply used to chanting. The Prabhupada was merciful. They know our degraded position, so he reduced it to the 16 rounds. But in 16 rounds, we are struggling. So we have to rise our standard in a bhakti by following rules and regulations. So everything is calculated, and like so we also have to follow the footsteps of our like acharyas. Okay, and yes, like this life breath, so which is used in worshipping Lord. So yogis use this life breath so that they can control their mind and senses, and so that they can meditate on Krishna. But like we don't do artificially. What we do like whatever light breath we have, we engage this light breath in a loving devotional service to the Lord Krishna. So when we engage our senses in Krishna's service, then mind and everything is taken care. Hare Krishna, Sharmila Mataji can read.
Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Translation. What person, even if most sinful, has ever said aloud the blessed name Narayana and failed to fulfill his desires? But we, alas, never used our power of speech in that way, and so we had to suffer such miseries as living in a womb. Purport. This verse brings to the mind the story of Ajamila from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Ajamila was sinful, but by chanting the name of Narayana when on the verge of death, he fulfilled his ultimate desires. In the following quotation from the Bhagavatam 6.2.13, Lord Vishnu's servants explained to the servants of Yamaraja, the Lord of Death, why Ajamila is not a fit candidate for punishment. At the time of his death, this Ajamila helplessly and very loudly chanted the holy name of Lord Narayana. That chanting alone has already freed him from the reactions of all sinful life. Therefore, O servants of Yamaraja, do not try to take to your master for punishment in hellish conditions. Ajamila had chanted indirectly, calling out the name of his son, but because he uttered the holy name of Narayana, he was saved from hell. He then went on to perfect his Krishna consciousness and return home back to Godhead. His accidental chanting of the holy name therefore awakened his original desire to serve the Lord. If even an extremely sinful person like Ajamila could be saved by chanting the name of Narayana indirectly, then no one else should fail to achieve his utmost desires by chanting the blessed name Narayana. King Kulashekara speaks on behalf of all those who forget to chant the holy names. These verses are meant for all of us who are missing the opportunity of achieving perfection through chanting. If we do not call on the Supreme Lord, then we will have to face all kinds of miseries. Kulashekara mentions the pain of living in the womb. Lord Kapila provides graphic details of the ordeal in his teachings to his mother Devahuti. Bitten again and again all over the body by the hungry worms in the abdomen itself, the child suffers terrible agony. Because of his tenderness, he thus becomes unconscious moment after moment because of the terrible condition. Then, owing to the mother's eating bitter, pungent foods or food which is too salty or too sour, the body of the child incessantly suffers pains which are almost intolerable. Bhagavatam 31.7 to 8. People refuse to recognize these facts, and that is one reason they do not take shelter of the holy name. Even if they are reminded of the pains they suffered in the past, they claim that it doesn't matter now because they are free from the pain. But a person who disregards natural and scriptural laws guarantees that he will suffer the same torments he claims to have forgotten. Srila Prabhupada writes, one who does not take heed of these indications of suffering in human existence is said to be undoubtedly committing suicide. Bhagavatam 7.31.9 purport. Vaishnava poetry is filled with Vedic truths and can bring the utmost benefit as well as pleasure to the ear and heart. In this single shloka, King Kulashekara has given us a poignant description of our unfortunate predicament with a hint of hope for ultimate salvation. If we can grasp the message of even this one verse and also feel it and act upon it, then we can save ourselves unlimited grief. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yes, like yes, everyone in Shastras everywhere there is like a glorification of holy name, but we are not taking it as seriously. Even in Ajamila story, he indirectly chanted the name of Lord Vishnu, but he's just saved from going to the Yamraja's kingdom, and but after hearing the discussion about between Yamraja and his Yamdutas, then he moved away from the home, and then he practiced sincerely spiritual life and spirituality. Then he go back to the goddess. So yes, he get the knowledge, then he apply the knowledge. So similarly, we are getting knowledge, now it's time to apply the knowledge, and then only we can go back to the goddess. So yes, even coming okay, even we are practicing devotional, but we are not practicing nicely, so we again come in this human life. But this is human life is not so happy, you know? Even in a like in even in a when you are in a womb of mother, you suffer a lot, and out of this suffering you call the Krishna, and you at that time you promise Krishna, oh Krishna, please take me out of this place, and then I will worship you. But when we come out of the womb, when we see the family members where you go in the clutches of Maya, and then you forgot everything. So you can go in the canto 3, here there is a beautiful description given, and we can see the ignorance now, when baby kicks in the belly of a mother, she become happy, and she show everyone, okay, see, my baby is kicking, but she is in ignorance. She thinks that out of enjoyment he is kicking. No, he's a kicking because out of his helplessness, and out of suffering he is a kicking. Because even when out of ignorance, mother, when baby in a belly, they eat a bitter pungent foods. They don't know they are how these are too salty foods, too spicy food, and they are going to burn their baby's skin, and the baby will suffer a lot. So out of ignorance they don't know anything, and our modern science, it has developed only within this 30-40 years, and they don't have this they don't really don't have this they don't have go to this step. They are simply doing some physical things, but they don't know these internal things. After before this 5,000 years ago, everything is written in a Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so yes, even in a show when we read these chapters, and we see that how suffering is there, if we can observe in a society how everyone is suffering, and then what Srila Prabhupada said, one who does not take the heed of this indication of suffering in human existence is undoubtedly committing suicide. So yes, we are seeing everyone left, right, center, a top, bottom, everyone is suffering. Then also we think that, okay, I will do something and I will be stay happy in this material world. So what we are doing, we have the chance to do the spirituality, go back to the Godhead. We have all the knowledge, but we are not applying. Means what we are doing, we are committing suicide. So we have to some words hit our heart and hit our mind. So we should write them, we should screenshot them, and we should remember them again and again. Hare Krishna, Vinod Prabhu, we can give. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Vinod
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation: the unlimited and infallible Vishnu, who is always present within the lotus of the heart, grants fearlessness to those who fix their intelligence upon him. The devotees who meditate on him will reach the supreme perfection of the Vaishnava. Perfect. Even Kulshrestha has previously spoken of perfection we can attain by using our mind and senses in the service of the Supreme Lord. Now he specifies that the ultimate perfection is Siddhim, Vaishnavism, the supreme perfection of the Vaishnavas. All Vaishnavas are rightly situated, but even among devotees, they are progressive states. In the Nectar of Devotion, Sri Prabhupada summarizes the characteristics of three classes of devotees. We paraphrase his summary as follows. The third class devotee is one whose faith is not strong and who at the same time does not recognize the decisions of the revealed scriptures. Second class devotee may not be expert in arguing on the basis of the scriptures, but he has firm faith in the objectives. And the first class devotee is one who is very expert in the study and explanations of the scriptures and at the same time has strong faith. For the most part, the third class devotee known as Kanishthadikari has faith in the deity in the temple and worships the Lord there. But the Kanishthadikari is usually unable to appreciate other devotees or the presence of the Lord in everyone's heart. Nevertheless, even the third class Vaishnava is considered highly elevated. Sri Prabhupada writes, even the third class devotee who is not advanced in knowledge of the absolute truth, but simply offers obeisance with great devotion, thinks of the Lord, sees the Lord in the temple and brings flowers and foods to offer to the deity, becomes imperceptibly liberated. Bhagavatam 3.25.36 purport. By dint of his attraction to the deities of the Shri Radha, Krishna, or Lakshmi Narayana, the Kanishta Adhikari is in transcendental position above those who are trying for liberation by speculation or other methods. One advances through the stages of perfection by applying oneself under the direction of the Guru, and everything depends on one's faith. In the Chaitanya Chaitamrit Madhya Leela 22.64, Lord Chaitanya confirms this, explaining to Sanatana Goswami that one becomes qualified as a devotee on the elementary platform, the intermediate platform, and the highest platform of devotional service according to the development of one's Shraddha, faith. One does not advance in devotional service as one does in the material world by climbing up a social ladder or by working hard for economic development or by military strength. Rather, one has to give up all material strengths and designation and become as humble as a blade of grass. The basis of devotional service is chanting of the holy name, and according to Lord Chaitanya, one cannot chant constantly unless one offers all respects to others without expecting respect for oneself. Instead of trying to push oneself ahead while maintaining the contaminations of lust, anger, and greed in the heart, one has to become pure and realize oneself as a servant of God, his devotees, and all living beings. The perfect stage of devotion is described in text 25 of the Mukundamala Sototra. O enemy of Madhu and Kaitaba, O Lord of the universe, the perfection of my life and the most cherished mercy you could show me would be for you to consider me the servant of 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 your servant. Lord Chaitanya, who expressed this important sentiment when he declares that he was not a Brahmana or a sannyasi, but a servant of the servant of the servant of the lotus feet of Krishna. The Lord of the gopis of Indravana, thus devotees who want to attain devotional perfection will pray for the good fortune to serve recognized Vaishnavas. King Kurukshetra also gives us the vision of constant meditation on Lord Vishnu. This can be attained by engaging oneself 24 hours a day in various services within the framework of the ninefold practices of bhakti. See Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.24. A true Vaishnava never thinks he has attained the ultimate state of perfection, but rather continues to serve the Lord and the devotees while always remaining conscious of the Supreme Lord in his heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, Sarita Mataji, you can continue because we have four shlokas. We will read them, read the purpose, and then we will end because we have to keep our vows, na? Hare Krishna, Sharmila Mataji,
Haji,
Sarita Mataji.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Ah.
All
Yeah.
glories to Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O Supreme Lord, O Vishnu, you are the most compassionate. So now please show me your favor and bestow your mercy upon this helpless soul. O unlimited Lord, kindly uplift this wretch who is drowning in the ocean of material existence. O Lord Hari, you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. A complacent religionist may think a devotee need not call out for personal attention. Lord Krishna already knows everything, so there's no need for individual supplication. But according to the Acharyas, when a soul who feels himself helpless and unfortunate calls out to the Lord, he touches the Lord's heart. Srila Prabhupada once gave an example of this while walking with his devotees in a park. A group of ducks in a pond swam forward toward the devotees, and the duck who quacked the loudest was given some food. Prabhupada remarked that in a similar way, we have to cry out for Krishna as a child cries for its mother. Of course, this shouldn't be done in an egoistic or artificial way, but the Lord will respond to his devotees' sincere and helpless cries. A devotee does not wish to bother the Lord with any demands or petitions, yet calling for mercy does not contradict the selfless mode of service. A good example is Gajendra, who asked the Lord to release him from the jaws of a crocodile. Srila Prabhupada writes, unalloyed devotees have nothing to ask from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but Gajendra, the king of the elephants, was circumstantially asking for an immediate benediction because he had no other way to be rescued. Sometimes, when there is no alternative, a pure devotee, being fully dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Lord, prays for some benediction. But in such a prayer, there is also regret. Bhagavatam 8.3.21 purport. Queen Kunti made a similar special request in our prayers. Ata Vishvesha Vishwatman Vishwamurte Swakeshu me Sneha Pashyam Mimam Chindi Dridam Pandushu Vrishnishu. O Lord of the universe, soul of the universe, O personality of the form of the universe, please therefore sever my tie of affection for my kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Bhagavatam 1.8.41. In these instances, the pure devotees ask not for material benedictions, but for the Lord to intervene and arrange things so that they may more fully surrender to him. About Queen Kunti's petition, Srila Prabhupada writes, a pure devotee of the Lord is ashamed to ask anything in self-interest from the Lord, but the householders are sometimes obliged to ask favors from the Lord, being bound by the tie of family affection. Srimati Kunti Devi was conscious of this fact, and therefore she prayed to the Lord to cut off her affectionate ties for her own kinsmen, the Pandavas and the Vrishnis. Bhagavatam 1.8.41 purport. Also, there are many moving songs by Vaishnavas of the recent age in which they call out to the Lord for individual help on the path of devotional service. For example, Srila Bhakti Vinoda Thakura sings in Gopinatha, O Gopinatha, this sinner who is weeping and weeping begs for an eternal place at your divine feet. Please give him your mercy. O Gopinatha, you are able to do anything, and therefore you have the power to deliver all sinners. Who is there that is more of a sinner than myself? Deeply considering his disqualification and asking for special help, the devotee requests his savior to be compassionate. The devotee's recognition of his complete dependence on the Supreme Lord is a prerequisite for his purification. He knows that if Lord Hari does not respond, he has no one else to turn to. King Kulsekara teaches us how to turn to Lord Krishna at all times, whether in meditation, while absorbed in his all-attractive name, form and pastime, or in desperation while sinking in the ocean of material life. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, Vinod Prabhu can start.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Translation. Obeisance to the Lord Madhva, enemy of the Madhu demon, his beautiful form lying on the couch of the serpent Ananta is speckled by the shower of spray from the milk ocean's waves. Purport. This is a picture view of the Sri Dakshina Vishnu, the expansion of Lord Krishna, who inhabits the spiritual planet Sveta Dvipa. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 3.8.24, Sri Vasudeva also describes the beauty of Lord Vishnu as he lies in Yoga Nindra. The luster of the transcendental body of the Lord mocked the beauty of the coral mountain. The coral mountain is very beautifully dressed by the evening sky, but the yellow dress of the Lord mocked its beauty. There is gold in the summit of the mountain, but the Lord's helmet, bed decked with jewels, mocked it. The mountains, waterfalls, herbs, etc., with a panorama of flowers, seem like garlands, but the Lord's gigantic body and his hands and legs, decorated with jewels, pearls, tulsi leaves, and flowers, garlands, mocked the scene on the mountain. King Kulshrestha describes Lord Vishnu as the killer of the Madhu, although in the form of Sri Dakshinai Vishnu, the Lord did not kill Madhu. There is no contradiction in addressing the Supreme Lord by any of his pastime names. As Srila Krishnadasa Kaviraja points out in his Chaitanya Chaita Amrit Adi Leela 5.128.130.132. There is no difference between the incarnation and the source of all incarnations. Previously, Lord Krishna was regarded in the light of different principles by different people. Some said that Krishna was directly Lord Narayana, and some called him Lord Vamnadeva, incarnate. Some call Lord Krishna as incarnation of Lord Shri Dakshinavishaya. All these names are true. In whatever form one knows the Lord, one speaks of him in that way. In this, there is no fallacy, since everything is possible in Krishna. The Sri Dakshinashai form of Lord Vishnu is very rarely seen, even by advanced devotees. Sometimes, when there is a crisis in universal management, Lord Brahma goes to Sveta Dipaya to consult with Sri Dakshinai Vishnu. Brahma sits on the bank of milk ocean and chants the Purusu Sukta prayers. In meditation, he then hears instructions from the Lord. The shower of spray from the milk ocean speckling the Lord's form mocks the impersonal conception of the absolute truth. The source of all incarnation is not an impersonal effulgence, but the transcendental Lord himself. The Supreme Person, King Kulshresha, does not manufacture images, but strictly follows the Vedic descriptions of the Lord of Svetadipa. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. So we have only last three shlokas.
Mataji,
Translation.
should I read?
Okay, yes, Prabhu, you can read.
Translation. By themselves, the words Krishna Krishna are sufficient to drive away the sins of all living beings. Anyone who possesses devotion for Lord Mukunda, that is densely imbued with the ecstasy, holds in the palms of his hands and gifts of liberation, worldly influence, and wealth. Purport. King Kulasegara's declaration that the holy name drives away sins brings to mind a similar statement spoken by Namacharya Haridasa Thakura. First, he quoted a verse that makes use of the analogy of the rising sun. Amhaha samharat ahilam sakrut udayad eva sagala logasya taranir eva tamira jaladim jedi jagan mangalam harer nama. As the rising sun immediately dissipates as the world's darkness, which is deep like an ocean. So the holy name of the Lord Hari, if chanted once without offenses, dissipates all the reactions of all living beings in full life. All glories to the holy name of the Lord, which is auspicious for the entire world. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Andiya Leela 3.181. Next, Haridasa Thakura explained the verse as follows. As the first glimpse of sunlight dissipates, one sphere of thieves and ghosts, so with the first the hint of offenseless chanting of the Lord's names, reaction of sinful life immediately disappear. If a devotee can continue to chant without offenses, he goes on to the awaken ecstatic love for Krishna. Then Haridasa Thakura stated liberation is the insignificant result derived from the glimpse of the awakening of offenseless chanting of the holy name. When Haridasa made this claim, a ritualistic Brahmana challenged him, saying that he had exaggerated the powers of the holy name. But Haridasa Thakura replied with sastric proof. He gave the example of Ajamila, who chanted the Lord's holy name of the intention of calling his son Narayana, yet who is thereby immediately freed of his sinful reactions and who ultimately attained to the spiritual world. Haridasa also quoted a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam proving that pure devotee prefer serving the Lord to being liberated without such service. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura elaborately described the stages of chanting the holy name in his Harinama Chintamani. Chanting that is full of ignorance and offenses is
Ram.
known as Nama Abarada. A next stage which still contains imperfection is known as Nama Abhasa, or the shadow of the holy name. This is the stage in which one can attain freedom from sins and even liberation. But one can attain pure Krishna prema only by chanting without offense. A stage known as Suddhanama, or the pure chanting of the holy name. King Kulasekara says that one who has attained the love of Krishna has all the other predictions easily within his grip, including Mukti and the gifts of Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. The Bhakta's indifference towards liberation is further expressed by Bilvamangala Thakura in his Sri Krishna Karnamrita 107. Bhakti Svai Bhaktistvaya Sthiraratra Bhagavan Yadi Stiyat Daivena Na Balati Divya Kishori Murti hai Mukti Swayam Mugulitanjali Sevate Asman Dharmartha Kama Kataya Samaya Pradiksha. My dear Lord, if I am engaged in form of devotional service unto you, then I can very easily perceive your transcendental youthful form. And as far as liberation is concerned, she stands at my door with folded hands, waiting to serve me and all material convenience of religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification stand with her. A pure devotee easily attains wealth and liberation, but he is not interested in them. As Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati writes in his Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, for a pure devotee, impersonal liberation is as palatable as going to hell, and the heavenly cities of the demigods are as real as flowers imagined to float in the sky. The devotee is Atmarama, self-satisfied because he knows that devotional service to Krishna brings everything. Hare Krishna, Dhanya ho Mataji, Dhanya ho.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So yes, like last two purports. Should I read or like anyone wants to read? Vinod Prabhu,
Mataji, should I read?
Prabhuji
Translation.
take break.
Translation. This work was composed by King Kulasekara, a bee at the lotus feet of the lotus-eyed Lord. The king's two beloved friends are the twin stems of the acoustic exquisite lotus of the Brahmana community. Expert Vedic scholars renowned as leaders of the community are poets. Purport Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Like a bee at the lotus feet of the Lord Krishna, King Kulasekara has made honey in the palm of the exquisite poetry which overflows with the nectarian description of the Supreme Lord. He has also cried out to the Lord for deliverance from the ocean of material suffering by using a wide repertoire of metaphors and by speaking from the depth of sincere Vaishnava feelings, he has made his readers indebted to him. Now they may also become bees and drink the honey of the Mukundamala Sostra. Among the 26 qualities of a devotee, one is that he is a kavi or poet. The subject of devotees chanting and hearing compresses the super excellent name, form, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna. The qualified Kavi receives Krishna consciousness faithfully in Parambara and renders it into the excellent poems and discourses. Thus, it is said of the Srimad Bhagavatam that it emanated from the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit of the desired tree of Vedic literature has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already releasable for all, including liberated souls. Bhagavatam 1.1.3, describing the contribution of Sukadeva Goswami to the Bhagavatam, Prabhupada writes the Vedic fruit, which is mature and ripe in knowledge, is spoken through the lips of Sri Sukadeva Goswami, who is compared to the patriarch not for his ability to recite the Bhagavatam exactly as he heard it from his learned father, but for his ability to present the work in a manner that would appeal to all classes of men. Like Sukadeva, King Kulasekara has imbibed the Vedic conclusions and added to them his own taste of devotional mellows. In his Govinda Leela Mirda, Sri Krishnadasa Kaviraja ends each chapter of his work with a statement similar to the King Kulasekara's here. He writes Sri Chaitanya Padaravinda Madhuba Sri Rupa Seva Pale. This book is the ripened fruit of my service to Sri Rupa Goswami, who is a bumblebee releasing honey at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The honey sweet nectarian rasa of the Krishna consciousness is also expressed by Bilvamangala Thakura in his Sri Krishna Karnamrita 92. Maduram Maduram Babur Asya Babur. Maduram Maduram Madanam Maduram Madhu Gandhe Mirdu Smidam Yedat Aho. Maduram 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 Maduram. Bale Bale. This transcendental body of Krishna is very sweet, and his face is even sweeter. But his soft smile, which has the fragrance of honey, it is sweeter still. Hare Krishna, Danyaho Mataji
Hare
Danyaho.
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Vinod Prabhu, you want to read? Or Sharmila or Sarita Mataji?
Hare
Last
Krishna.
verse?
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Yes,
Okay.
Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
No, you can read, Mataji. No problem.
Okay,
Hare
thank
Krishna.
you. Translation. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Who among those who recite this Mukunda Mala will not achieve complete happiness? An embodied being who chants these prayers will have all his sinful reactions eradicated and proceed straight to the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu. Purport. Following the Shastric tradition, King Kulshekara ends his poem with an auspicious benediction for his readers. We find many such benedictions in the Srimad Bhagavatam. For example, Canto 7 contains this statement: anyone who with great attention hears this narration concerning the activities of Prahlad Maharaja, the killing of Hiranyakashipu, and the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narsimha Deva surely achieve the spiritual world where there is no anxiety. Bhagavatam 7.10.47. The Vaishnava poet's blessings upon the reader is not merely a literary form. The Srimad Bhagavatam or the Mukundamala Stotra can deliver full benedictions to any receptive reader and send him back home, back to Godhead. One need only consider the elevated topics King Kuleshekara has covered in his poem. For example, he has often mentioned that the holy names of the Lord can save us from samsara. And he has exhorted us to call out to Lord Krishna for protection. Indeed, the Mukunda Mala Stotra is filled with friendly advice to chant Krishna's name, bow down before him, and serve him with all our senses and mind. King Kuleshekara has advised us to become a servant of the 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 Lord. All these statements are actually injunctions directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Shastras. King Kulshekara has repeated them in his own voice and with his own convictions, but his prayers have the authority of the Supreme Lord behind them. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada chose these potent verses for the rendering as the prayers of King Kulashekara. He began translating them to English for wide distribution through his magazine Back to Godhead. It will be our good fortune to go on hearing these verses in earnest, to sing them repeatedly, and to study and remember them. As followers of Srila Prabhupada, we will be particularly inclined to remember text 3. Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam Adyaiva me Vishatu Manasa Rajahamsaha Prana Prayana Samaye Kafavata Pittei Kantavarodana Vidau Smaranam Kutaste. O Lord Krishna, at this moment let the royal swan of my mind enter the tangled stems of the lotus of your feet. How will it be possible for me to remember you at the time of the death, when my throat will be choked up with mucus, bile, and air? Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
All glories to
Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, all glories to Srila
Hare
Prabhupada
Krishna,
and
all
like
glories
his
to
senior
Mataji.
devotees.
All
No,
glories
Prabhu, like.
to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to King Kulashekara Alwarji.
Yeah. So yes, here the benediction is given for readers. Yes, one who recite the Mukund Mala, he get the complete, can achieve the complete happiness, and an embodied being who chants this prayer will have all his sinful reaction eradicated and proceed straight to the supreme abode of Lord Vishnu. So yes, there are benedictions, and it is not only it is are written, but these are the benediction of Lord Krishna coming through the King Kulashekara, because he is not manufacturing anything. He is just simply putting the message of Lord in his own voice and make it a little more palatable for us. Okay. So yes, we should recite this, and even daily, we can give the 5 minutes, and we can read the Mukundmala Stotra once, one shloka with the purport, because the explanations, the more we read, the more we become purified, and then there will be desire, okay, I should follow this, and this is the remember Srila Prabhupada's favorite verse from this Mukundmala is a 33. Yes, in old age, when our voice throat is a choke up with the mucus, bile, and air, and at a time of death it is unable to take the whole holy name of Lord. So he's requesting when my body is good, at that time you can take me you can take me back to Godhead. At that time, I can favorably chant your name. So yes, here what Kulishekara is saying, that yes, King Kulishekara is saying that the importance, he is glorifying the holy name, and importance of chanting holy name, and how we have to call the Lord Krishna for our protection, and he's also a friendly advice to chant the Krishna's name, and we have to bow down, how we have to use our senses in Krishna's service, and how we have to serve our mind and senses in Krishna's service, and how we have to become the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the God. So yes, all these statements are from the directly from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Shastras. So yes, now yes, we read, we have the knowledge, but now it's time to apply. So we should apply these things. Okay. So today we will end here. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Krishna, thank you so
very
much,
much.
Yes,
Mataji. Hare
so
Krishna.
finally, we whatever vows we are taking in a Kartik month, we have to we have to keep our vows. That's why we recited too many shlokas in last 2 days. So yes, we keep our vow, and we recite entire the Mukund Mala, because these all are very beautiful prayers which are offered by his pure devotees, and when we recite the prayers from the pure devotees, Lord Krishna is very pleased. So Hare Krishna, thank you for everyone
Hare
for
Krishna,
joining.
Mataji. Thank you to you
Krishna,
too.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Mataji.
Mataji,
Hare
thank you
Krishna.
so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.